What's up, Grace Girls? Welcome to the Allow Yourself Grace podcast, where we focus on helping Black women change their lives by discarding negative thoughts, pivoting in the right direction, and shifting their mindset through cultivating a trauma-free lifestyle. I'm your host, Courtney Kristen, educator, content creator, life coach, counselor, and mental health enthusiast living in Houston, Texas. I created the Allow Yourself Grace podcast because I wanted to create a space for Black women to share their thoughts, feelings, and stories that make them who they are without fear of judgment. Allow Yourself Grace provides emotional support and encouragement within the Grace Girls community for women in need of non-biased opinions from women other than family and friends. Personal development, self-care, career, faith are among many of the topics we will discuss on this platform. Allow Yourself Grace podcast is here to encourage Black women to live unapologetically and thrive in being authentically who they are and were designed to be, an entire vibe. No topics are off limits. We will cover it all. Now, grab a notebook, pen, sit back, and enjoy the show. Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Allow Yourself Grace podcast. I have another guest in the house. I'm super excited to have her. Her name is Jalisa.
Yeah.
And she reached out to me, and I love that. Y'all know I love that for me when I have guests who reach out to me, because I love to have people I don't know. You want to get out of your warm market. But I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Well, I'm Jalisa Marie. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. You were quick on the draw when I sent that. When I sent that inbox. I was like, oh, okay, this is a real deal situation. I am originally from Boston. I've been here in Houston about 7 years. Writer, author, filmmaker now, director. Yeah.
Come on, Black Girl Magic.
Moving fast.
Come on, Black Girl Magic.
Moving fast. Yeah.
I love it. And we're gonna get into some beats so you guys can look, my mic's falling. You guys can find out more about her and what she has going on, because she's doing her thing.
Yeah.
So creative, visionary. I mean, your girl's over here writing movies, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah, she actually has one coming out April 28th, correct?
Yeah, that's
the name of it.
Yeah, it's called Dangerous Thirst. You got the first part of the book, and then these are the other two. So it started with this. It started with these, and then it's funny how interesting how this happened. I started writing these books, the first one anyways. I started it back in like 2010. I didn't finish it till 2019.
Oh, wow.
It took a long time.
The process.
Life. You know, you got to put things on hold and you got to kind of figure things out. But as soon as I had finished book one, the reviews were astronomical.
Oh, wow.
And so I was like, okay, I got to finish this, because I did finish it with a cliffhanger. And so I was like, I got to finish this. So book 2 and 3, I finished it in 2022. It took me 9 months to do that. And then the movie deals started coming.
Wow.
So what Dangerous Thirst is about, it is very taboo, very risque. It happens in real life for some people, and for some people it doesn't. Husband and wife. Husband wants to spice up the bed life. Asks the wife if it's okay to bring others in. She says yes, and then tables turn.
Right.
And so yes, so things get a little crazy.
That's happened.
Yeah. A little murder, a little suspense, drama, all that.
Sounds like something y'all need to go check out.
Yeah.
Where can they purchase this book?
They can get it on Amazon. You can also get it in Walmart.
Okay.
Yeah, so it made its way to Walmart. So those are 2 places you can get it, or you can always order straight from me through Instagram or Facebook, Jalisa Pynkdyamondproductions.
Yes, y'all go check her out. Y'all go support and buy her book. I can't wait to get into it. I'm really sad that the premiere is sold out.
It's sold out in 5 hours.
That thing, and then I was looking. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna be in there because it's sold out, y'all.
139 tickets in 5 hours.
Oh my God! Look at God.
Yeah, look at God. No trailer, no nothing.
Because, and that brings me right into the topic, because when life be life, and
child.
And things happen, and you're in that waiting period, because I know you had to wait.
I did.
It didn't come right away, but this has always been your vision, and now it's finally coming to life, and you're seeing the fruition and the
your hard work and all that stuff come to life? How does that feel?
Honestly, if I could be honest, life is lifing right now.
Wow.
Right before the premiere. This past month has been a complete nightmare for me. And I'm a firm believer that when God is about to bless you big, a lot of bad things come right before
it. Start whooping you.
Yeah, he started because he want to distract you. He want to distract you with everything and anything he possibly can to keep you from what God's promises for you, you know. And so life is lifing right now.
Wow.
If I could be completely honest.
But she's pushing through, y'all.
Yeah.
That's the most important part, is that, you know, even though things don't always go as planned, we push through and we continue the process, because you're only going to see results. Yeah. And she's still seeing them right now, even though she's going through it. And we're definitely going to be keeping you in prayer and cover. But you got this. You got this.
Oh yeah.
Where do you think your spark came from for the creative mind? Like, to write a book and to write a movie and to put all this thought and just to think about all these things. Man, you got to be a smart person to do this. So
definitely, I've been writing since I was like in middle and high school. So that really started it. And then when I became like in my mid-20s, I had like a collection of 3 ring binders just full of poetry, full of all these things. My house caught on fire and I lost everything.
Wow.
And at that time, I lost my drive. I didn't want to write anymore after that.
You're like, for real, all my hard work.
And so when I started rewriting again is when I got out here and enrolled at University Houston downtown. And my professors was like, you really can write. You really should take like a creative writing class. And I never really did it.
Right.
But I just kept writing the book, and then it just kept going and going. The more you write, the more the spark is just ignited. And so that's just what I did, honestly.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah. But it comes with commitment, though, right? Because writing is fun. I love doing it. I love everything about it. But I got to find balance. And that has come with, like, family, right? Taking care of kids and trying to, you got a passion and a love for this, and you want this to be everything, but you also got to put the pen down and focus on family. And that was a challenge for me, because once I get to write and I close my door and everything is just like not there. You know?
How many kids do you have?
I have 3 and a grandson. 3? Yeah.
And you're married?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the balance, like you said, between setting boundaries, are you blocking out time? Is there like, okay, well, an hour I'm gonna write, or
at that time I wasn't. At that time I wasn't.
Okay. So that's something that had to be learned.
It had to be learned. Yeah, because at that time I wasn't. At that time it was like, all right, guys, I'm going in here. I'm going to be writing. Dinner was done or something like that. And then I would just close the door. And I would be in there for 6, 7, 8 hours.
Oh, yeah, no, we can't do that. And then I'm like, hey, wait, we over here.
Yes.
We over here, yeah. I think that balance is important.
It is.
I talked about this on my last episode with another lady who's an entrepreneur as well. It's just finding that balance and knowing that even though I love this, it can't be my everything, because at the end of the day, life is short and family is first.
Yeah.
And we got to kind of like, okay, I love my business. I love what I do. I love writing. But I also I love my kids. I love my husband. So I got to keep this balance. So I'm glad that she said that, because people glamorize what you do. They glamorize what entrepreneurs do. Just being a creator in general, people glamorize the life, but they don't realize what comes with it, the sacrifice. So let's talk about a little bit about your struggles. You don't have to go into detail, but a little bit about your struggles along the way, because I really want to influence other women who may be in that same space right now.
The struggle really for me was, like you just said, the sacrifice, creating the boundaries. You know, I work a full-time job outside of just film and all that. And so it really is about balance, you know. And sometimes you forget, you know, because you're so consumed in what you're trying to build, your legacy. You want this legacy for your family, you know. God forbid something happened to me today or tomorrow, I have something for my family. You know what I mean? But it didn't come without pain. It didn't come without sacrifice. And like you said, they glamorize it. They see it. And they're like, oh, man, I want that. I want that. But what comes with it is a lot more than just, it's a whole nother beast. And another thing, like in the struggle of trying to find that balance, in the struggle of like being absent with family and friends, you got to stay prayed up. You got to keep your faith, because if you don't keep your faith, you lose everything, you know?
And rest in the promises. I think oftentimes we forget that God has already promised us to have this life. He didn't promise us that it was going to come right away because we think put it in the microwave, it's ready. But it's like, nah, sis, it ain't ready. It's not ready. So
it's hot on the outside, cold in the middle.
Yes. But when we learn how to rest and we relax and we be still and we let him do his part and we continue to do our part, it comes to life. It's just not coming when we want it. It's coming on his time, y'all.
Absolutely.
Who is the person in your life that you feel like influenced you the most, like really pushed you to keep going?
My partner, TK. If it wasn't for TK, I wouldn't even be in film right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, TK was like just pushing me. You know, especially after the first book, TK was like, you got to finish this. You got something on your hands. You got to do this, you know. And then when we were done with that, we just was kind of like talking and playing around about, oh, man, this needs to be a movie.
Right.
And TK was like, no, it's going
to be a movie. Come on. Speak it into existence.
He spoke it into existence. And then, man, I did the book release in May. And that same month, I met the film producers that produced the film.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So how did you meet them?
You would never believe it.
Oh my God.
You would never believe it. We were in the living room and we were watching Tubi movies, and there was this movie called Red Flags, and we're watching it, and I'm like, man, babe, I said, this dude, whoever did this, that's who I want to do my movie. You know, we're just watching all these different and doing like all the pros and cons. We can't do this, we can't do that, you know, whatever. And a couple of days later, I needed to get my TVs hung on the wall, and this is how you know how God is real.
Come on, God.
This is how you know God is real, okay? I needed to get my TVs hung on the wall, so I made a call to a company called Clutch TV. They was like, hey, you know, reach out to this guy named Carlos. He'll come in, set it up. I call him. We set up the date, and like a few minutes later, on his way to the house, he texts me. He's like, hey, I produced this movie. And he sends me the link, and I open the link, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Not Red Flags.
Wow.
So me going 40 miles an hour to go home, now I'm doing like 90 because I gotta meet this guy.
You're like, I gotta get there.
I gotta meet this guy. So I get there, and he's just finished hanging up the first TV. I'm like, you're lying, right? Like, this is a joke. He's like, no, the producer, the writer-director is my first cousin. Calls him. He's in Puerto Rico, scouting out another location for another movie he got coming out, and then he invited me to the set out here in Houston, and that's how it happened.
Look at God. That is crazy.
Yes.
She literally knew nothing about this man.
Nothing.
See, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It's meant to be. It's meant to be. There's no, look, it's not up for debate. I always say it's not up for debate.
Not up for debate. Questions.
Right.
None of that.
Just go with it. Just go with it.
Yeah.
Pynkdyamondproductions.
Yes.
Tell us about that. What's your vision for your brand now?
The vision for the brand is really, right now, since I've been in Houston, like I said, I'm from Boston, and right now I haven't seen any Boston female filmmakers, right? And especially none of color. And so the goal for me is to open the doors for not just women of color who are in film, because there's a couple of women out here in Houston who are doing it big, and I love them. I love following them.
Wow.
And but it's also not just for women of color, but also for the LGBT community that's undermined. You know what I mean? There's so much talent in there, and they bring so much to the table. So not just for Houston, but for Boston too. So the plan is to travel back and forth and to bring film, real life stories to, you know, things that are happening in people's lives. People always ask me, where did this thing come from, Dangerous Thirst? And to be completely honest, I don't know. I just wrote it. I just wrote it. I just got the vision. Now there is a chapter in there that represents like my childhood, of like childhood trauma with molestation and things like that. But this is a reality for a lot of women, you know,
and people can connect to it.
Absolutely.
And I think when you speak up about it, it allows that safe space for people to feel comfortable.
Yeah,
because they, believe it or not, through your writing and through movies, they really feel like they get to know you. And
absolutely.
They know you. Like, oh, I know her. Oh, she's coming out with something else.
Yeah.
And so it's like they get hooked.
Yep.
I don't know if you know the writer Eric Jerome Dickey.
Oh, love him. Yeah.
Loved him.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. He had like so many books. So
many.
You read one. you wanted the next one. You wanted the next one. And so that's the goal for this, y'all. And this is her second one. So, right? Your second one?
Third.
Your third one.
Yeah.
Oh, the third one.
Yes,
I'm going to have to go get the other two. I'm going to have to go get the other two when I finish this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get hooked. And that's the whole goal. And like she said, I don't know too many women of color that are doing this.
Yeah, they're out here. They sure are out here in Houston. One credit for sure is to Denise Monet. She had helped me do the screenplay for this first part. So Dangerous Thirst, because it's a trilogy, of course you can't take 3 books and cram it into an hour and 30 minutes or whatever, hour and 40, however long. So what we did was we broke it down into 6 films. And she helped me with the first one, but because of the guidance that she gave me, I then went in and became certified as a screenwriter. So now I do my own screenplays, and but it piggybacked off of homage from another Black female.
And that's so powerful because I think we get a bad rep as Black women of like not wanting to bring people on our platform, not wanting to show people what we do when we're scared they're going to get further than us, and it's good to just hear that there are Black women out here helping other people.
Absolutely.
And helping each other at that, not jealous or not envious. I love that because a friend of mine shared a story with me today, and I just encouraged her that maybe that door wasn't for you. Like you're knocking at a door and somebody's really not trying to they're not trying to help you. They're giving you kind of the cold shoulder. It's okay. There's going to be somebody else out there. Absolutely. And so I'm so happy that you made that connection and now you're running with it. Yeah. And I love that. Yeah. And I love that y'all are still working together.
Absolutely. She, I actually just reached out to her. I don't know if you've seen on the news lately, they have been speaking about this movie that's coming out called Bissonnette.
Oh, yes.
She wrote it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she wrote it. So I told her, I was like, hey, I need to come on set with you, when whatever next film you got. And she's like, yeah, just come in May. I got another, film coming up. And it's just to watch and to grow by following, you know what I mean? And that's what I love about the women here. Like, there's so many that I've come across, and they're so empowering and supportive in what we can do, because there's so much here. And if you put it together, you can build it together. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
that's amazing. That is amazing. How do you where do you think you learned how to tap into your power? Because we have so much power within us, but sometimes it's hard to tap in, whether that be our environment playing a role, how we grew up playing a role. What made you say, I'm going to take this leap and I'm going to trust that my gifts are going to make a room for me?
Definitely my mother. Definitely my mother. She's no longer with us, but she definitely had always instilled in me, get out there and do it, because nobody's going to do it for you. You know what I mean? And it was tough love. So I'm her only biological daughter, and I have 7 brothers. Okay. And of the 7, 5 are older than me. So they really was like, bear claws, you know what I mean? Like, this is how you got to do it. This is how life is. This is how love is. This is, you know, tough. Lord, yes. My brother, he's 50. I'm 45, and I still wear shorts under my skirts because of this man. If he's around, I'm like, Ramon's right.
Wear your clothes. Wear your clothes, sis.
But yeah, it was definitely my mother. She definitely just put power under me by letting me know that life lessons are learned by what you go through. So it's no matter what you go through, it's not what you go through, it's how you come out of it. Yeah. And so that's how I was able to, and then just going to church and finding God and knowing that God is always ahead of me, always before me, even when it doesn't look like he's there. You know,
so he's there. Yeah. And that's just accessing your power and resting in those promises. So I sent you a topic, and I don't really want to go into like depth, but I do want to talk about it a little bit because I think we've already been talking about it. Don't confuse who you are with where you are.
Facts.
And I think that plays a role with tapping into your power, because who you are and where you are can be totally different. Like, you can literally be in the middle of the hood and be somebody like, oh, you live there? Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I live there. But I tapped into who I really am and what I really can have. Because one thing we can't control is we can't control our family. We can't control the family we're born into. That's right. But we can control our destiny and where we're going.
Sure can.
And so what would you say to a young girl who is like watching and maybe they don't have all the means and the resources, but they do aspire to do something similar to what you're doing, or just to do something great? What would you say to them?
I would say T.D. Jakes said something the other day, and he mentioned about how your location is not your destination. And when I tell you that I literally packed up my car, just me and my daughter, from Boston, drove 30 hours here. Nothing. We had nothing.
What made you come to Texas?
Child, I needed a new environment.
Okay.
I needed something new, so I left. But I would say get around people who are positive, because that your environment really is it is the foundation of where you're going to go next. You know, it's hard to be one of those people who say, well, I got to drive for this, I want to do this, I want to do this, but you're around people who don't have that motivation and can't empower you in that, because they rather you be with them hanging in the streets or doing this or doing that. So you really got to change your environment. That's the first and foremost, right? And then you got to believe in what God says about you, not what we say about ourselves, because we talk a lot of negative things to ourselves every day. You know, and sometimes you got to look in that mirror and say, what does God say about me? And use it as an affirmation, you know what I mean? And one thing I learned about this is that you really want to get with people who can show you something without looking at what you can give them in return.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Because the blessing truly comes from the people who are like not gatekeepers, and they say, hey, this is how you do it. I'm going to give you the steps. Now it's in your hands. It's your job now. I've given you the tools.
You have the tools, but it's up to you to use them and to put it to work. And I always say this, you can gain all the knowledge, you can get all the resources, you can buy all the courses, all these things, but if you're not putting it to use, then it's all no good.
It's just sitting there collecting dust.
It's just collecting dust. Yeah. And talking about it and putting it on our vision board and doing all this stuff, but we're not executing.
Yeah, you got to execute.
You have to execute. And like she said, you need to be around like-minded people.
Absolutely.
Because it's hard to grow when the people around you are trying to talk you out of it. Or like, you can't do that. You think you really can do that? Yep. No. Yep. You know, or all these things. But for some reason, people of color, like, we idolize white people without knowing it. We do it without knowing it. And it's like, I didn't realize it until, like, certain people you're talking to about certain things, and it's like, oh, wow, we really put them above us for some reason. And I don't know if it's because, you know, there was a slave era in the black community where you had to listen to them and you had to put them on this pedestal, but now we have access to knowledge and resources. And so I'm just praying and I'm believing that we're going to give back to the younger girls so they won't have to think that way. Yeah. And they can think that it could be my name on this book. Like, there's someone that looks like me that has a book that is a filmmaker. Yeah. And so that's why it's important for us to be on these type of platforms. And that's why I was really excited about having you on, because I'm like, I don't know any black filmmakers. Like, this is amazing. Yeah. I was all bragging to my husband. I'm like, she's a filmmaker. She makes films. She has movies. And so it's just exciting to be around and to let young black girls see that.
Yeah. The other thing is, like, and you just hit it on the head, right? Like, you really got to have the drive and the tenacity for it. Because once you put it on your vision board, you've already spoken it into existence. So now we got to get the ball rolling, you know? And so a lot of people will say, but I don't know how to write. I don't know what I'm supposed to write. Just write it. Just write it. The format will come later. The edits will come later. Say what's on your heart, what's on your mind. It will come together. It will make sense once it's all done, you know? And then things like filmmaking opens up. And I've worked with people like Dre and Michelle from Basketball Wives. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. Jamal Willard, who played Biggie in the Notorious B.I.G. movie. Khalil Kane, you know, these people. And it's like working with normal people, you know what I mean? But they're human. They're human. But it opened the door, you know, writing opened the door to being able to see things on the other side.
And what that looks like.
And what that looks like.
And now it's accessible. Yeah. I want that. Yeah. I'm going to have that. Yeah. And that's kind of how it is. And it's okay. I kind of say, like, I'm bougie. I I'm like, but it's okay because I just believe that my God wants it.
Standards, baby.
Yeah, it's standards. It's okay. Because my cousin's always like, oh, you're the bullshit coach. And I'm like, well, I guess. I just like nice things. And sometimes I'm like, I gotta go get some more money because I need that. Like, gotta get some more. It's not, oh man, I'm never gonna. No, I just gotta go get some more money. So no, I love that you say, like, once you speak it, you better get to it. You better get to it.
Because God will keep bringing it to your vision. He'll show it to you in your dreams. He'll show it to you. You walking past something, and something will pop up that'll make you remember about your vision board or whatever you have in mind.
Or like somebody else doing it.
Or somebody, yeah.
And then you're like, but that was my idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What took so long?
What took so long? They went to work, and you were still talking about it. And you were still talking about it. So how long have you been in the film industry total? Like,
I've been years. It's gonna be a year.
Come on, God!
It's gonna be a year in May.
Wow!
It's gonna be a year in May.
See, it's not on our timing.
Yes,
it is not on our timing. Now, is it hard to find actors? Do you do like a casting call?
I did a casting call, and it's not hard to find them. It's hard to. I wouldn't say it's hard. You just have to be very specific when you're putting out the casting calls because I haven't run into this, but through the grapevine, you hear that like sometimes people will get on set and they'll be like, well, that wasn't the script I got, those type of things. So I'm very direct and I'm very cut clear. There's no, there's none of that. Like, my cast, I absolutely love them. They worked hard, and a lot of them were first-time actors and actresses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a lot of them were first-timers, and I take pride in the fact that they are first-time actresses and actors.
But you give them a shot.
I give them a shot.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see them blow up because I know they will.
Because that's one thing. People always say, oh, you need experience. And it's kind of like, well, how do I get it? I'm going to get it. So, how do I get it? Some of them have been practicing. They're taking classes. Yes. And so there's so much that they've done, but nobody has given them a chance.
Yeah.
So, I love that you're doing that. So how many people do you have total on the set?
On set or just the talent? Well, the talent and then the set. So talent, my set was 13. There was about 20-something of us.
Oh, wow.
Crew included and, directors and all that stuff. It was so much fun.
Okay.
But it's a lot of work. There was some nights where I would work my regular job, get off at 4:30, and then from 4:30 go on set and not be off set till 4 a.m. then go right back to work again. Like, those are the sacrifices I'm talking about, and that's what I mean by, like, it takes you away from family, it takes you away from friends, and you hope and pray that you have a family that can understand that this is a sacrifice that has to be made, like almost like a sacrificial lamb, right?
Right.
But it's not in vain. Because it will pay off.
It's going to pay off.
It will pay off, so you would hope that you have that type of family that can understand that.
Man, that is crazy, y'all.
Yeah.
Going to work, getting off, going to work again. And then going back to work.
Yes.
And then trying to check on the family.
The coffee was my favorite.
Right.
Like, oh my God, I got to do it again.
I'm up. I'm ready. But when you really want something, you don't mind putting in that extra, the extra, whatever you need to put in, you're going to get it. You're going to get it done.
Right.
I guess the next question that I have is the characteristics of what you look for in a person who's coming to be in one of your movies. What do you look for?
So first and foremost, I look for someone who has potential, right? And drive, because again, it might be your first time as an actor or actress, so you may not have the complete experience, but we can show you on set, how to be, how to look, how to speak, how to talk. But you also can't come on set and not do the work. Like, for instance, a lot of the talent, when they would come on set, some of them would take the scripts and they would hide. Some of them would go under a table. Some would go in a closet. Some would walk away, and they would go into full character mode until it was their time to be.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like an amazing thing to see. Others, from like other sets that I've seen, they may have practice at home, so when they get on set, they're just chilling. But as soon as that camera come on, you're like, oh, you got it. But you don't even realize that they got it because you're so used to other people rehearsing and practicing, So what I really look for is somebody with potential and drive, somebody who, if I say read the line and you've already had the script, you can read this line with your eyes closed because you've been practicing it. Yeah. So those things really mean a lot to me because it shows that not only are you getting paid for this, but you're getting paid for what you've practiced and what you're studying. And it's not just a reflection of Pink Diamond, but it's a reflection of you, because moving forward, if you don't produce, other producers and filmmakers won't use you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to put in the work. You got to show them that you can do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to fire somebody?
Yep.
She said yep. She said it quick too, y'all.
Yep.
Wow.
She lied about what I asked her to send me a video of what she looked like, things like that, and she did a headshot from up here. And when I asked her size, when she showed up on set, I was like, "Oh my,
catfish!"
I said, "Oh my God, you gotta go."
But, wow! Yeah, so she like, wow, why y'all do that?
Yeah,
do that.
I was so upset.
Let me see if you fit the part.
Yeah,
because like certain characters, the way she's describing them in the book, it needs to be simple.
And so what's crazy is, had she been completely honest about height, weight, size, this, that, and third, I have a great character.
But when you lie, it's hard.
Your integrity is already your integrity is in the trash at this point.
Wow. Yeah. So you mentioned you have directors on scene. How hard is it for you as a producer to just sit back and kind of let them direct? Because you kind of want to do both when it's your stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was flexible this go round because it was my first time with them and filming and stuff. But what I loved about them is they didn't make a decision without me. Everything was, Jalisa, how do you feel about that? Jalisa, what do you think about this? Jalisa, how about if we do this, kind of change this? And I'm flexible, you know, and I understood coming through the door, I understood that a lot of what's in the book isn't going to make the film. You know what I mean? And that's another thing. That's like, you got to like think about that. And I think a lot of authors forget that when they do get that film deal, like they forget, oh, I can't put grandma and grandpa was doing this because it doesn't help the movie flow. You know? But they were really flexible. They did not make not one decision without me. As long as I said it was good to go, they did it.
So they created an inclusive environment.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So when people are doing their roles, do you mind them adding to it?
I love it.
Away? You love that?
I love it. Because it's very natural. So even though I wrote it and this is what I say on the script is really just your blueprint. But I prefer for you to be naturally speaking the way that you would normally speak. Of course, use what's in the script, but if one word makes it sound weird and you want to switch it up, have at it, have fun with it, because for me it's a more natural environment. So
so everything's completely done and you're just ready for that day. So what is a movie premiere like? I've never been to one, so I don't know.
Oh girl, we gotta get you to one. So it's really lots of glitz and glamour. What you see like at Grammys or whatever, everybody coming in gowns and stuff.
So it's like a red carpet.
It's a red carpet. You lots of photographers, a DJ.
Nice.
At the movie theater, you have your exclusive theater with wait staff and things like that.
Nice.
And then you pretty much just watch the movie. And what it does is it gives exclusivity to a group of people. And then, of course, they're the first ones that see it. And then once it comes out on the platforms, then everybody else gets to see it. But those people who made it to the premiere get to have bragging rights.
That sounds like a whole experience.
It is.
That y'all create that.
Yes.
Because who doesn't love getting dressed up, y'all? Best. And feeling like I'm important.
Right. Yeah.
Look, I'm just like, oh my God, I missed it, y'all. I'm going to the next one.
She's coming to the next one.
I'm coming to the next one. I'm coming to the when she said my premiere is on the 28th, I wasn't even thinking. And then I went on your page and started looking around, just checking you out. And I'm like, oh, it's a whole movie coming out. Like, what? Oh my God. Oh my God. My little question just left my mind for a second. Cultivating relationships in your line of work. How important is that?
Very important. Very important. Another thing that's extremely important is social media. Watch what you post on social media because people are watching. They, your potential of working with somebody else can be taken away off of one single sentence. You know what I mean? So I'm very careful about what I post on social media. I don't post my personal business on social media. Everything is business related, specifically because you want to respect not just yourself, but your family, your brand, family. So cultivating relationships is highly, highly important in any industry, not just film. But it's because in film, it's because they're always looking for writers. They're always looking for directors and producers, and especially females, So like, cause we're at down here. Right. It's a male-dominated environment, you know, so to see females doing it. So it's very important to watch what you post on social media and build these relationships, and don't listen to what you hear. Yeah. You know, see it first. Just see it and experience it for yourself. Yeah. Because, you know, people are people. Right. People are going to say what they want to say. Everybody's experience isn't going to be the same, you know. True. So you got to experience it for yourself and make the judgment call based on your own experience. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Are you open to collaborating with other filmmakers? All the time. I collaborated with another filmmaker out here, Janard Harper. Co-wrote his movie A Wedding Day Massacre, so that's exciting. But anytime someone calls me, I just went to Atlanta for a Black Women in Film Summit, and I met with someone out there, and I got contracted out there to write a couple of scripts. So it's, I'm always... It's a hustle. It is a hustle. It's a hustle. It is. I'm loving it for you. Yeah, thank you. Wow. just be doing it less than a year and just all these amazing things happening back to back. Yeah. It's just incredible. Yeah. So your family, how does your family feel about it? Are they excited? They're super excited. Yeah. I have so much family coming down from Boston and Florida, Puerto Rico, to come to the premiere, plus, you know, Houston people who are coming, but everybody's super excited. I don't know if they're more excited than I am. Oh my God. Because that's all they keep talking about. You know, I come from a large family, and they're very supportive, always have been supportive of anything that I've ever done. And like I told you earlier, you know, with my brothers and my other sisters or whatever, on my dad's side, I mean, everybody's just been extreme. So they're about to turn up, y'all. They're going to have it's going to be a whole vibe. I can't wait. I already know. Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to be a whole vibe with everybody in town. City, yes. Celebrating you, because this is... Girl, look, I'm just like in awe. I mean, just the thought of you writing 3 books. Yeah. I'm over here like, oh, this is your second book, and this is number 3, y'all. Number 3. And just, it's been a long time coming. Like she said in the beginning, she lost her stuff. And that situation just kind of relates to some of our real life situations. Yeah. How sometimes you can lose everything, but you're able to come back even when you feel like I'm done. I'm not going to try again. I'm tired. There's always somebody encouraging you and rooting for you. So having that support system is amazing, because, you know, not everybody has that. So for you to have that, I'm happy that you're celebrating that, you're embracing that. And that's just going to be amazing. So your goals moving forward with your films, are you looking to make more films? Oh, I'm going to. Yeah. Once I became a certified screenwriter, I wasn't even interested in writing books anymore. And the reason for that is because with screenplays, it's all action and dialogue. With books, you got to get real flowery. You got to create a whole world. It's pretty formal. Yeah. And so because now I found my love in film, I definitely will stick to the scripts and do the scripts. So there will be more films coming. I actually have a couple that I've already worked on or working on. The next one is Envy Breeds Death, and then I have She and His Revenge. So are they all the same genre? Kind of. The Envy Breeds Death, I'm writing it for Lifetime. So yeah, come on. Your girl's killing it, man. She's killing it. Yeah, I wrote it. I'm writing it in a Lifetime form so that it will either get picked up by BET or picked up by Lifetime. So you gotta be careful of how you write it. You know what I mean? Like for Tubi, you could get real crazy and, you know, stuff like that. But for other platforms, you have to be careful how you write it. So Envy Breeds Death. It's a criteria, okay. Yeah. And I may even have to change the title because Envy Breeds Death. You know what I mean? Yeah. But, yeah, they've been really, I guess, cracking down on it because there's so much so many mental health issues and things going on. So I mean, I can see that. So they have it like where you submit your script to them and then they approve it. Yeah. So like with BET though, you need an agent to do that. And so I haven't picked up an agent yet. I had one who was interested in me and I wasn't ready. Yeah. So I keep telling God, like, let me know when
send you the right person, and then send you the right person too.
Yeah,
but and you seem like you're very intuitive. Yeah. So
that's why I didn't jump on it at first. I was like, I don't know about
the energy. It's the energy, and some things you just gotta pray about.
Yes, for sure.
And working that close with people, you have to make sure it's somebody that you can trust, and that's somebody you feel comfortable going to bat for you.
Yep.
Because you just need that. You need that, and just to be like comfortable. Because I can't be everybody in my space with the energy. It's like,
get that sage.
let me get you up out of here. Yes. And you seem very calm. Yeah. And so I think to have somebody around you that's like high energy, I'll be like, okay, hold on.
I'm like, wait, what's happening right now? What's happening?
Slow down. Slow down. So after your film comes out on the 28th, are you doing anything else after that? Like events wise.
After that, not really. I mean, there's a couple of other podcasts that I have to do. There's a magazine that I have to do. I just got featured in the Voyage Houston magazine.
Yay, we did too last month.
I know. Come on, y'all. And so just getting the exposure out there for Dangerous Thirst and for my brand, because the goal really is to bring other people in who have a desire to want to write or want to be in film, you know, and I do want to mentor young ladies who want this to be their industry in the future and how to get them there, you know, because my blessing is going to come at the end of all of this by helping somebody else.
Yep.
And so, and I mean that in a way of no finances, no none of that, just me genuinely helping someone, you know, because God gave it to me and I got to give it back. You know, so
say that one more time. That's gonna be her real.
God gave it to me, so I gotta give it back.
And that is so important, like giving back to the younger generation, because some of them just need a little bit of guidance. They have a dream, but they just need that. Let me see that one person that's willing to show me the way, like you said, with no finances involved, and just really just be there for me and kind of cultivate. What I want to do, and because somebody did it for you,
it for me.
So you have to be willing to do it for other people.
I think people forget that you got to pay homage. You have to, because someone genuinely out of their heart, their love, their time gave this to you, and then if you don't turn around and give it back, God gonna take that thing. They're gonna take that thing because you're not doing right by it, you know. And so you got to pay homage to those who actually gave you the tools and opened the door for you. I'm not saying that you have to do it every time, but you definitely got to say, hey, thank you for what you've done for me. Now I'm gonna go do it for somebody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. So is there any advice that you would give to anybody who is trying to do what you're doing? Like any advice, anything that you want to tell them?
Yeah, I would say be patient. Trust the process. It's going to get very frustrating. You're going to get discouraged because you're going to feel like nothing is right. You're going to feel like it's not perfect. It's not what somebody would look at. But you would be amazed. You would be amazed at the amount of things that drive someone to want to work with someone else. You know, your story is the opening story for someone else who needs to hear it, you know. So don't give up, don't give in, and don't let the enemy come in and start spewing things into your head about what you shouldn't be doing or you can't do. Naysayers are everywhere, and so you got to know who's who and sitting amongst you. If you keep hearing those people who are consistently saying, well, why would you do that? That ain't even something that you would do. Why? I don't even know why you're bothering with that. That don't even sound right. These people are the people who want to see you in your current situation and don't see your future. They want to keep you right there, either in your past or where they see you at right now, because that's the value they have on you. So they don't even see what the future has for you, because if they did, they'd be pushing you to that. Girl, that was dope. Write it again. You know what I mean?
They'll be pouring into you, but they don't even see it.
They don't.
And those, unfortunately, are the people you might have to cut off.
You have to. You have to. And it hurts. It hurts because I've had to do it, and it hurts. But God got something bigger, because when he take them people out of your life, it's going to hurt, but it's to help you. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you.
Right. And I used to wonder what it meant to, like, when the pastor used to say, you're going to be up here and you can't bring everybody with you. Yeah. I'd be like, but once you start growing, like, you really, truly start to understand what that means. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it can be painful.
It's painful.
Because some of those people, we truly love them.
Love them.
We truly saw the best in them.
Yeah.
We poured into them, but unfortunately, we weren't getting the same.
Yeah, and it's hurtful.
It's hurtful.
Gotta let it go.
Yeah, because we only want to give the energy, like, reciprocate. We only want it to be reciprocated. Like, if we do something for you and I need you later on, I expect the same.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, you just missed out.
Yeah.
You just missed out.
Your loss.
Right? Exactly. Mm-hmm. Y'all, make sure y'all go follow her.
Yes.
You want to tell the people your IG?
Yes, it is Jalisa, Jalisa, Pink Diamond. Pink Diamond, not spelled traditionally. It's
It's not.
It's not. It's Pynkdyamondproductions, Marie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And go follow her, y'all. Where are we going to be able to watch this movie, though?
Platforms, Tubi, Amazon Prime, if God should say the same. And I think that's it for now. Eventually, it rolls over into, like, what's this one called? Peacock, and there's another one. I forget the name of it.
Is it Hulu?
Not Hulu. I think it starts with a P or F. Maybe an F.
There's so many streaming
services. Yeah, there's so many. So Tubi is the original, I guess the original network that will take it. But then after weeks and weeks, it starts going to other networks and stuff.
Is there a criteria for Tubi too? What you have to meet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything got criteria, so you have to, like, really just go through and make sure that you're
Yeah.
Okay.
They have, like, a QA that they go through and stuff like that. Even, like, with the movie poster, you have to be careful what the movie poster looks like because if it's too risque, they won't take it. Like, it's just, you got to be very careful. It's very strategic.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I was looking at Tubi because people were always like, oh, these movies are good on Tubi. And I'm like, oh my God, I was just wondering if there was, like, a criteria.
There is. And you know what it is, though? Over the years, Tubi has gotten better because I have to admit that there's been many a times I watched Tubi and I'm like, what is this?
I know a couple movies. I was like, what is this?
And they have gotten better over the years as far as the criteria is concerned. I think what most people don't understand or realize is that Tubi is the platform for most Black independent filmmakers, and what that means is a lot of us don't have the Hollywood budget. We don't got the 250,000, 300,000 to make the movie. What we got is 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand.
Right.
And we utilize that money and we do the best that we can with the tools that we have. Mm-hmm. We're just a bunch of people who we have a love for film, a love for making movies, and we want to create something. And so we take what we know and we build.
Right.
And then off of that, when you get, your checks and whatever, you grow from that and you just keep, amplifying it, and doing it better next time and getting better next time.
Right.
And so that's why I said, like, with Tubi, things have changed dramatically from what I used to see to kind of what I see now. And some filmmakers really, really take pride in what they're doing, and so I think, like I said, people have this misconception that, Tubi is just like kind of trash TV, if you will.
They do.
Yeah.
But there's really some good things on there, too. I think like you said, most of the stuff that was trash was, like, in the beginning. You kind of like cipher through it and just see what's really out there.
Yeah.
How do you make money off of Tubi and those streaming platforms? Do they have, like, a certain rate they're paying you?
So they do. So you have to do, like, certain views and things like that. And every rate is different. It really depends on your view count. You know what I mean? And so for filmmakers, it's cool to make the film, but you got to interact with the people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they really are the ones who are pushing your movie out.
Because somebody's going to tell somebody.
Yeah.
Hey, you seen that movie?
Have you seen that movie? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I look at the people that, I think on social media, they'll put, like, different slides of the movies that you should go watch. Yeah. So that's a good way. Like, word of mouth is everything.
It is.
We have another business, and that was a thing with it. it's like customers start coming out of nowhere. Like, oh, so it's
word of mouth.
So the word of mouth is, like you say, you got to interact, because that's very, very powerful. Yeah. But that's good to know. I didn't know. I never knew how it worked.
Yeah.
I was just like you said in the beginning, some of the movies, I was like, what is this? But now when you get on, there are actually like you said, it's evolving into something great, because I just love how creative we are as a people.
Yeah.
And just the different various aspects that we can bring to that industry, because your films, just from the titles, I'm like, oh my God, that sounds so intriguing. Just from something basic, like, for example, Booty Call. But Booty Call is like a classic movie, you know? Like, everybody knows it. When you say it, they know it. But it's like, why would you name it? Why would you name it that? But just things like that. But I'm looking forward to see what you're going to do in the future, because I know it's all going to be great.
Thank you. I'm excited for what's to come. You know, when I speak, I minister to myself too. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I got to remind myself, it's therapy, and I got to remind myself, like, hey, that devil's coming. You better do something. Better stay prayed up, you know, because he will try to shake you off your game.
And keep fighting.
Keep fighting.
I think that was one of the things I learned this year, is to just keep fighting, just keep going. As long as you're still executing, God's going to do the rest. Yeah. He's going to do the rest, because, like you said, he goes before us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you stay prayed up, he's already, like, some of the stuff you thought, the way you thought you needed to go, it got blocked, because he's like, no, you don't need to go that way. Just stay right here. I got you.
And a lot of times we think he's not with us when we're going through these things, because it's either so hurtful or just so quiet and there's no momentum. But rejection is protection. So there's, you know what I mean? There's a reason for it. So
your time. It just wasn't your time. Is there anything that you want to ask me? Because I always ask this at the end, towards the end. I'm like, do y'all have questions?
I don't have any questions. I'm just, it's more of a statement. It's just, it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here. And this here is so important for other people who have things to put out there, right?
Yes.
We wouldn't even know that you exist if you didn't put yourself on Front Street and say, hey, I'm here, y'all. You know, so thank you for that, welcome. Because that's important. And a shout out to Khalid, because had it not been for him.
Shout out to Khalid, because you're sending all the people my way, all the Black Girl Magic.
Shout out to Khalid.
I'm loving it. I'm going to be sending you an email soon, because I'm like, okay, Khalid, send some more people my way.
And speaking of which, he actually awarded me Vision Artist of the Year.
I saw that on your page. So is that like a network that you guys are in, or some type of community?
No, that's something that he does with for the Culture Awards. Okay. So I think pretty much how he does it is he's in this industry, in this film music industry, and so he watches and he's monitoring like different things. So he's watching, and he goes around and he honors other, you know, entrepreneurs or filmmakers, actors, actresses, businesses. I mean, he does it all, and shout out to him.
Shout out, Khalid. I can't wait to meet you in person. I'm excited. Oh my God, he's doing his thing.
So I got Vision Artist of the Year, and that was exciting. Like, all of this in a year, like, I've been just consumed with what God can do, but also with that came, you know,
it's coming. But we gonna keep fighting. We're gonna keep fighting. You know, I've been telling about his. He be like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "The devil don't want this." Like, I ain't even got time for you today.
Listen, we're putting on our boxing gloves.
Right?
Like, come on,
you playing. My friend and I had a conversation the other day. We were talking about how we were disappointed in ourselves. We're like, all this gratitude challenge we've been doing, all this work we've been doing on ourselves, and the devil came in and just took us all the way off. I was so disappointed.
It's very disappointing when you get
one day, and he really just came and threw me off
trust me, I know, because trust me. And when he takes you off track, he intends to keep you there.
He want to keep you there.
He want to keep you there.
This week is a new week. We're not
about to play that game.
We're not playing that. We're gonna push through. And that's important. You got to come back, because he will try to keep you there.
He will, because he's afraid of what you finna bring. He's afraid of what you finna bring. He's afraid of how you're going to influence other people to remind them that God is real. Like, dude, he's afraid. He wouldn't be coming this hard if he wasn't that afraid.
For real. Okay. Seriously. And it just be like, he just come out with his whip, y'all. Like, stop. stop. Like, I'm good. Yes. But no, it's been a pleasure having you
Same
on.
Here. Thank you so much.
I love her energy, y'all. She's so calm. I need that in my life.
Yes.
Lasting, my last question. Did you have any more questions for me?
I don't have any questions.
My last question is, like, what are some things that you're doing for your mental health?
Oh,
self-care?
Good question. Right now, because I've been in a war, like I told you, for like a month. So right now I've just been really like listening to a lot of gospel. I've been really watching what I think about and what I listen to and what I'm watching. So I've been doing like a lot of inspiration, motivational speakers, saging a lot. I even signed up for therapy. You know what I mean? I signed up for therapy
last year.
Yeah, and I think people. I wish more people understood that it's okay.
It's fine.
It's okay to have therapy. I love God, but I also know I need therapy.
But you put resources here for us. And you put people in place.
Yep.
And for me, my podcast is therapy because people always come on and they encourage me and they speak life into me too.
Yeah.
But therapy is great. I went to therapy, I guess, for about 5 months.
That's good.
But I think I want to start doing like check-ins, like quarterly check-ins.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to do that because I stopped around the holidays. But I think I want to start doing like just a check-in quarterly. But it is good. I'm glad that you made the step to start that because it really does help.
Yeah.
It's good to have somebody that's like non-biased.
Yeah.
They're just hearing you out and you have your safe space.
Absolutely. I had to do it though because like I said, this industry is time consuming and it's also mentally consuming because you want to get it done, you want to do it fast, you want to get it right, you know what I mean, and you challenge yourself a lot. And so with that it does that separation of family and friends and this and that, so you're losing more than you gain sometimes. You know what I mean? And so it's important to have that mental health capacity so you can digress.
Yes.
You know. So.
And make sure you find the right therapist.
Absolutely.
But the first sessions are hard. Have you did your first one?
I did one 2 weeks ago, and I knew she wasn't right for me.
So that was me. And my friend was like, Courtney, I promise you it gets better. Like, stick it out. Because I was like, she not it. I don't like her. And I think by the 4th or 5th session. So with your next one, try to stick it out because I think by the 4th or 5th one, I was like, okay, I kind of like her.
Okay.
Because at first I was like, I don't like her. It's not gonna work. So yeah, my friend was like, no, I promise you, like, stick it out. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, try to stick it out.
I'm gonna try.
It does get better.
Okay.
I've had it, but if it doesn't, listen to my advice on that because I was the same way. I was like, immediately. I was like, I'm not doing this no more. But yeah, try to stick it out. But if you don't, I know 2 have been on my podcast and they're really good.
Okay.
They've been on,
I'd like that information.
I'll give you the information. They're good. But yeah, so thank you so much for coming.
For having me.
Y'all go watch the movie.
Yes.
Go buy the book. I'm going to link all of this stuff in the description so that you guys can just click the link and go there and follow her. I know she's going to do great things, y'all. Look how much she's done in a short time. And y'all keep trusting God and just know that where you are is not where you have to stay. Just tap into who you are and whose you are. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Deuces.
Thank you.
Well, guys, that concludes our episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Allow Yourself Grace podcast. For additional information about today's episode, please click the link in the show notes below. To learn more about our Grace Girls community and other resources we have to offer, head over to www.allowyourselfgrace.com. Until next time, Grace Girls, I love you all, be blessed, and continue to strive for success.